This is the Ultrahuman Ring Air, and after wearing it every single day for the last 5 months straight, it's time to give you my long-term thoughts and review of this ultra-compact health and wellness tracker. Now, right out of the gate, the Ultrahuman Ring Air is by no means the most comprehensive reporting device out there in the wearable health and wellness tech space. Not by a long shot. If you're a hardcore health nut or you really want something that's going to give you the most in-depth, detailed health and wellness data out there, I don't think this is the product for you. That being said, I do think it has a spot in the market, and I do think it suits the needs and meets the requirements of a lot of people out there. So let's get into what the Ultrahuman Ring Air is, how it works, and what it's been like to live with and get insights with over the past 5 months. Let's start with the process of buying one of these rings. So at the time of this recording, the Ultrahuman Ring comes in 6 different colors or finishes: raw titanium, matte gray, bionic gold, space silver, rose gold, or the one I have here, which is in the Aster black finish. Currently, pricing is between $349 and $399 US, depending on the finish you choose, which is right square in the middle of the market price-wise for a health tracker device like this. After you go through the online ordering process, Ultrahuman actually ships you a ring sizing kit so you can ensure that you order the exact right ring size to fit your fingers. So I believe this is either an 8 or a 9 that I'm wearing, and at the time that I bought the Ultrahuman Ring Air back in February 2025, the entire process was like 2.5 to 3 weeks from the time of getting the sizing kit, requesting the proper ring size, and getting the actual ring in the mail and getting going with it. In the box, you get everything that you need to get up and running. Ultrahuman sends you, of course, the ring itself. You get a nice desktop ring charger and a USB-C cable that connects that charger. The ring charger is minimal enough for me that I was able to integrate it into my desk setup. So whenever I need to, I can just drop the ring on it and let it go about charging. A full charge takes about 3 hours. And on average, I've been getting between 4 and 5 days of battery life on a single charge. Ultrahuman also has a low power mode that you can enable for the Ring Air, which can squeeze out a little bit more battery life out of it if you need to. And if you activate it early on enough before the ring battery starts dropping dramatically, that can get you maybe up to about 6 days between charges. Now, in terms of fit and finish and build quality, I think the Ultrahuman Ring Air feels great in the hand and on the finger. And I think its build has held up exceptionally well over the past 5 months. And regardless of the finish you choose, the ring is just so well polished, so smooth, and because of the way it's being designed, there aren't a number of small bumps or sensors sticking out into your finger while you're wearing it. There's just one section of the ring that's being inset and flattened out, which houses all of the sensors of the ring, making for a nice finish and a comfortable wearing experience. Comparing it to the Muse Ring 1, which I am also currently testing out at this time, you can see the Ring 1 has multiple little bump outs on the inside for its sensors, so it's not nearly as comfortable and smooth on the edging and as nice to wear. I was also previously a Motive Ring user, if you remember that guy, and even though Motive had done the same thing, positioning all the sensors along one section at the bottom like Ultrahuman has, it just wasn't as smooth and well machined, so it still was not as comfortable to wear as the Ultrahuman Ring. In my experience, and out of all of the different wearables I've had, Ultrahuman has absolutely nailed the fit and finish. It's definitely the most comfortable wearable piece of tech that I have tried to date. I also think the design is nice and clean, very aesthetically pleasing. And again, even after wearing it every day for about 5 months, including while sleeping, working out, and at my job, working on a computer, it's only showing minimal signs of wear. There are a couple of scuffs on it, but nothing crazy, nothing that jumps out, nothing that would make you not want to wear this day to day. Might differ depending on the finish you choose. I still think it looks really nice. Even putting it side by side with my wedding band, which is a real expensive piece of jewelry, I think the Ultrahuman Ring Air looks almost like a really nice piece of jewelry, far more so than all the other, or most of the other wearable pieces of tech out there. So again, I give the design, fit, finish, and quality of the Ultrahuman Ring Air an A+. Now, going back to those sensors I mentioned on the design end, let's talk about them and how they work and which ones they are, because Ultrahuman does pack in quite a few in this ring. There's a PPG infrared sensor, a medical grade skin temperature sensor, 6-axis motion sensors, and a series of LEDs that monitor heart rate and blood oxygen saturation. In my testing and over the last few months using this ring, I found step tracking and sleep data from the Ultrahuman to be fairly consistent with what I was experiencing with other devices like the Whoop and the Ring 1. If I'm up too late or I don't have a good sleep, my recovery score in the Ultrahuman companion app reflects that. It gets lower, and I can feel that typically throughout the day. And I find it to be pretty accurate of a representation of how I'm going to feel as the day progresses. And similar to those other devices I've used like the Whoop, when I see that my skin temperature becomes elevated, usually a couple of days later, I end up with a cold or something like that. And again, the Ultrahuman has been very good at detecting that early onset. All in all, I think the Ultrahuman Ring Air really shines as a general high-level view of your overall health and wellness and how you are recovering. However, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's not the most detailed or in-depth piece of health and wellness tracking tech that you can get your hands on. As a former Whoop owner, I know wholeheartedly the Whoop absolutely produces more accurate, more sophisticated reporting and more detailed health data overall. The Whoop also does a better job of breaking down and tracking things like workouts and physical activity. And that's because the Whoop band tracks your heart rate on a 24/7 basis. It is always happening. It's not like the Ultrahuman, which only does it variably. That means with the Ultrahuman Ring Air, you can start a workout, but it doesn't necessarily know that you are doing a workout. It's just going to track your heart rate fluctuation and your movement, but it's not necessarily going to record that as, say, a strength training session, which is something that, of course, the Whoop band and some other wearables can do. So while you not only can get a solid overall view of your sleep with the Whoop, but also you can get a measure of your distance traveled, calories burned, duration of workouts, your different activity levels, and how your body is performing under the stress load during those activities. And all in all, the Whoop band will offer you a more comprehensive day-to-day measure of those things. But that comes at a cost. We'll talk about that in a moment. And while I did mention that the desktop charger included with the Ultrahuman Ring Air is quite nice and minimal, and I find it integrates with my desk setup just fine, Whoop does have a one-up in this department as well, because it includes the battery bank that slides on top of the Whoop band when you need to charge it, so you can continue to wear the band and get readings even when you're charging the battery. Something you can't do with this ring or any other ring form factor piece of wearable tech, unfortunately. Additionally, something I didn't find particularly useful with the Ultrahuman Ring Air was its stress rhythm monitor. Apparently, this is supposed to be a reading of whether you are stimulated, resting, or under duress and stress, but for whatever reason, maybe it's just me, the Ring Air was almost always constantly telling me I was in a state of stress. Even when I was just laying on the couch with my dog, relaxing or watching TV, it said I was under stress. I don't know how this metric is calculated per se or what data points are going into determining this factor, but yeah, had no bearing, absolutely none, on how I was feeling or my true sense of whether or not I was actually stressed or not. With all that being said though, I still think the Ultrahuman Ring Air is a pretty great choice for the right person. If you're just curious about wearable tech, or you just want to try getting some better insights on sleep performance, your step counts, or other high-level health data, I think it's a great way to do that. The Ring Air is super compact, and again, it's so discreet. It just looks like another piece of jewelry that you're wearing on your finger, unlike something like the Apple Watch, which is a distraction machine, or even the Whoop band, which typically is strapped on your wrist, and if you're wearing it all the time, it doesn't really complement every outfit. If you wear it on a holiday, for example, you're going to get a really bad Whoop band tan line, and the Ultrahuman Ring Air will give you the data available from it at no additional cost and with no subscriptions. At the time I'm recording this video, the Ultrahuman Ring Air, again, costs just between $349 and $399 US. And there's no subscription required to use the product and access your data forever, as long as the ring continues to be active and isn't broken and anything like that. No additional costs. Now, the Whoop band just came out with a new version of their product and their subscription modeling, but the cheapest Whoop annual subscription you can get is $259 US per year for their one plan. However, it will go all the way up to $529 US for their life plan, which is almost 50% more than the whole cost of the Ultrahuman Ring Air for its entire lifespan. Now, other products like the Oura Ring, which is probably a more direct competitor to this product than the Whoop band, I would say, but that is similarly priced and does again require a subscription, which is about $60 US per year. So if only companies like Muse with their Ring 1, which is cheaper and also has no subscription, could ship a product that works, figure out how to do that en masse, and provide better overall support, I think they could have a real shot at winning the wearable ring health and wellness tracking game. But at this point, Muse does not have their stuff sorted out, I am actually waiting for a replacement from Muse right now for my Ring 1 because it died shortly after I did my initial unboxing, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, I can't recommend that product right now, but that's the kind of thing that is going to come in and actually disrupt this space. Right now, Ultrahuman is winning. That no subscription is the killer feature of the Ring Air right now, but it's ripe for disruption. And I would not be shocked that if in, say, a year's time, there is another company out there absolutely killing this segment of the wearable tech space. But overall, the Ultrahuman Ring Air might be the best wearable piece of tech out there for you, so long as you're not an athlete. I think performance athletes or people who are doing sports, especially competitively, or you're doing a lot of training in the gym, you're trying to get really fit, you're taking your health to the next level really, really seriously, then I think something like the Whoop is the natural way to go. It is going to cost you a lot more money. Again, about $250 to $500 per year, but you are going to get way more insight, way more data, way more granular information that's going to help you take your health or your sporting game to the next level, keep yourself in peak condition, know when to train, when not to train, when to plan your off days, all this great detail. You just don't have it here on the Ring Air, but for the average person who just wants a little bit more insight to how they're sleeping, how many steps they're taking, how they're doing from an overall health perspective, it's the best choice, in my opinion, at least as of right now, summer 2025. But as always, what do you guys think? Let's have a conversation down in the comments below about the Ultrahuman Ring Air. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have one? Do you want one? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon in the next video.